I went and bought all the cheapest white rums I could find, and I'm going to blind taste test them to figure out which one's the best. And just for fun, I'm going to add in the most expensive white rum that I have. I will be sipping these, even though none of these claim to be sipping rums. I'm not expecting much from any of these. I have tried 2 of them. All the other ones are brand new to me. What I'm looking for is some kind of rum taste in there, a lack of harshness, maybe even some interesting flavors, but I think that's asking a little much. I hope to be surprised. You never know, one of those could be good. I do have proper tasting glasses, but not 8 of them. So I will be using these dollar store glasses with about an ounce in each. So let's go over the contenders, starting with the cheapest up to the most expensive. Starting with Classic Club Silver Rum. This is $6 at Total Wine. As far as I could tell, it might be made just for Total Wine. It's made by IWA Distilling Company in Louisville, Kentucky. Next up for just $8 is Castillo Silver Puerto Rican Rum. This is owned by Bacardi and distilled in Puerto Rico. I heard a theory online that it's just Bacardi Superior rebottled in a different label, but it's cheaper than Bacardi. And then for $10, we have Parrot Bay White Rum. This used to be Captain Morgan Parrot Bay, owned by Diageo, and then they sold the Parrot Bay brand to Sazerac. So they removed the Captain Morgan logo on there. Parrot Bay has a whole bunch of flavored rums or liqueurs, if that's what you want to call it. So this one's probably the base for those liqueurs. It is produced and bottled in Louisville, Kentucky, known for its parrots and bays. After I was done with this test, I realized that they tricked me. This is rum with natural flavors. What does that even mean? To me, it means it's not pure rum. Also, for just $10 is Ronrico Caribbean Rum. It is distilled at the Crucian Rum Distillery in Puerto Rico, and then it is bottled in Claremont, Kentucky, which is 10 miles from Louisville, Kentucky. And then $11 for the standard size bottle of Trader Vic's Silver Rum. I picked up this handle for $11 also, so it's dirt cheap. I think it was on sale when I bought it. This is owned by Phillips Distilling in Minnesota. They're another big company with a whole bunch of brands. And then, surprisingly, not one of the cheapest, but one that everyone knows, is Bacardi Superior. For their standard size bottles, $13. This handle cost me $18. It's also made in Puerto Rico nowadays. And last up is George Ocean White Rum. It's $15. It's not the cheapest. The reason I got it is because it had some pretty good reviews for the price. I think it may be another Total Wine label, but it's produced somewhere in the Caribbean and it's bottled in Dallas, Texas. Couldn't find out too much about it because the website they got printed on their label doesn't even work. But I do have some high hopes from this, just from what other people have said. I'm also going to throw in my most expensive unaged white rum. For $34 is Malahat Spirits Rum. It's distilled and bottled in San Diego, California. But I wanted to throw in an expensive one just to see if I could taste it. Is it even worth an expensive bottle? $34 isn't really expensive for liquor, but it's up there for unaged white rums. What I'm going to be rating them on is their flavor, or lack of it. It should taste like rum and not just rubbing alcohol, which I got the feeling that some of them, or most of them, are going to just taste like rubbing alcohol. Some interesting flavors are good. Just generic bitterness is bad. Harshness from the ethanol is bad. So let's get into it. I'm going to randomize it so I don't know what I'm tasting. In editing, I'll show you what it is. Let's find out if any of these are good and which is the best. Okay, so I have an ounce of each in a glass. I've found that marking glasses with some kind of permanent marker or dry erase doesn't really work for me, so I have them written down and matched with playing cards. And then my wife mixed them up, so I don't know what is what. So this is completely blind. I just want to say that I don't consider myself a super taster. These might all just taste the same to me. I've got a glass of water to rinse between each drink. So I'm just gonna go from your left to your right, and I'm going to use this butcher block counter to sort of keep track about how I feel it should be rated. It smells like rubbing alcohol to me. That's it. It's not too strong of a rubbing alcohol smell. It could just be this glass. It's not concentrating the smell. Okay, I'm definitely going to go back to the first one after everything else because it being the first drink. But this it tasted just like vodka to me. If someone told me that was vodka, I'd believe them. It wasn't that harsh, but there's no flavor there at all. So that's low end of bad on the scale for me. All right, number 2. Oh, this one smells a little sweet. There is a smell there. Maybe pineapple. The ethanol smell of this is way less than the last. I'm kind of liking the smell. It's a little, it's still weak, but it's a pleasant smell. Blueberries. Smells like a little like blueberries to me. There is flavor there too. More blueberries than pineapple. That is much better than the last. It still is a little weak on flavor, but the flavor that's there is nice. So I'll say that's decent. Right in the middle, decent. Goes up there. I hope that's one of the cheap ones because I'd like to be pleasantly surprised. Nope, we're back to straight ethanol. Maybe there's a little something in there. I'm reaching though for some kind of smell. That's another one that I could say it's vodka. But if it was vodka, I would say it's better than the first vodka. I'd say it's a little less harsh than that one. A little less bitter. Flavor-wise though, I got nothing there. Put it right there. Oh, there's a lot of smell to this one. This one smells good. Definitely smells like rum. Bananas, low ethanol smell. Doesn't smell as sweet as this second one. Now, the flavor of this one isn't bad, but it's just gone so fast. There's no finish. I guess that's what they'd call it. There's just a lingering burn on your tongue. There's some flavor there. I'd say it's less than the smell though. Doesn't taste like the banana smell. I'll put that up a little more than the last. Ooh, this one smells completely different. Like peppermint. It's sweet smelling. Maybe that's a butterscotch. And the ethanol coming off it's very low. That is completely different from those. It tastes much lower proof. It's sweet at the beginning, and then there is an aftertaste that's a little bitter. Anyone ever notice the more you drink, the better it tastes? Hopefully that doesn't skew my results here. By the time I get to the end, I'm thinking this is the greatest stuff ever. But it tastes a little weak, but it's not bad. And the smell's decent. Just a little weak in the flavor department. So I would say it's still poor, but somewhere in the poor range. Next up. Ugh, no. It's rubbing alcohol. Not looking forward to tasting this. Ugh, that's horrible. I would say it's got to be the worst one so far, even worse than that first. May have to downgrade that more later. I'll put it in the awful range right now though. Ugh, this one also smells terrible. That has a flavor in it, but it's not good. What is that? It's just ethanol and something in there that shouldn't be. It's very bitter and cleaner. Some kind of cleaner in ethanol. It's the worst one yet. I've got to give that abysmal. It's so bad. Really got to rinse that out of my mouth. It's a bad flavor. I'm not a fan of things like Campari. It's too bitter. It's not my thing. But I get people that like it. That was just, no one likes that. Okay, last one. There's not much there. This is another vodka. It's low on the ethanol smell, but that's all I smell. That's just vodka, and not a good vodka at that. It's pretty bad. All right, I'm gonna go back to this first one. Yeah, that's like vodka, but slightly better vodka than this last one. There's some flavor. Move that one up a little. I want to taste this one I enjoyed. Yeah, that is good. I'm going to raise that up because that's, at least, I would say that's good. All right, I'm going to go back to this one that's in second place. There's a WD-40 smell to that coming off now. And surprisingly, it smells pretty good for a lot of these. I kind of like the smell of WD-40 though. I don't know if it's just me. It's weak though. That's not bad. Kind of like it. Wouldn't call it good though. Say that's on the very high end of decent. Who would have thought drinking WD-40 is decent? But I guess that's how low we've sunk with these. All right, I'll try this one that's in third. A low end of pour. Oh, this is the one that smelled like bananas, isn't it? I'd say that deserves more than low pour. It's just so light on the flavor, one-dimensional. What would this be? Fourth place right now. Very lacking of smell. Really, I don't think that one is as good as I rated it. No, that's not that good. That's not good. I'm downgrading that to awful. High end of awful. Let's taste this first one again. It's like, again, this one's just vodka. I gotta downgrade it some because there's no flavor there. It is slightly better than this. There's something off on this one. I'm gonna revisit these ones in last place. Ugh. That's fucking horrible. All right, one last chance for this horrible one in the abysmal rating. Oh my God, that's bad. It's going down in the rating. I was this close to puking. How can that be so bad? Which one is, I'm really curious of which one is so bad. Last place is Ronrico. Ronrico with the abysmal score of 2 out of 100. That is fucking disgusting. Extra smooth. They have the balls to put on the label, extra smooth premium Caribbean rum. Second to last, with the terrible score of 14, is Castillo Silver Puerto Rican Rum. Should be ashamed of itself. So someone's theory was this is the same as Bacardi. So I'm going to leave that there. And when I get to Bacardi, which I guess it's possible, I got 3 that are in the same realm of the score. I'll compare them side by side. I think it's possible that they taste the same because a lot of these were very similar on the low end of the score. All right, third worst with an awful score of 25. Oh, okay. Classic Club, the cheapest one there. At least it wasn't the worst. And just slightly better with the awful score of 27. Bacardi, there's the Bacardi. So I gave a Bacardi at 27 versus the Castillo 14. Castillo is a cheaper offering from Bacardi. But I want to compare them side by side now to see if they possibly it's the same thing. It's not the same. The Castillo is worse. A worse ethanol taste. And so Bacardi's better, but you know, that's not saying much. And just slightly better than Bacardi at the awful score of 28 is Trader Vic's. It's awful. Now we're getting up to the best three, which I would consider not bad, with this one, which is the poor score of 47, pretty close to decent. The expensive one, the Malahat rum. Yeah, I would say it's definitely not bad. Just the problem with it is it's weak in the flavor. It's just kind of weak. Kind of surprising that it wasn't one of the top two. What does that leave? George Ocean and Parrot Bay. Kind of rooting for Parrot Bay because I was expecting it to be garbage. Okay, so second place with a high decent score of 57 is Parrot Bay. Surprisingly decent Parrot Bay. That leaves us with the good score of 63. That really is good. I'm going to bump that up to middle good. 65. George Ocean. I'm very pleasantly surprised with this George Ocean. $15, that's definitely a good buy. Seeing how it is better than $34 Malahat rum. Parrot Bay actually is a surprise to me. I was thinking most of these were going to be the awful to horrible range, but Parrot Bay, pretty good. To be more accurate, it's almost good. It's decent. But good for my expectations. No party fouls. Oh, why did I start on the good end?